What's up guys, I'm back in the garage today with my 1993 300ZX twin turbo. I was driving it the other day and the odometer ceased to operate. That's right, it got stuck at like 170,000 miles. And I drove around a bit and it still didn't start back up. I reset the trip odometer and nothing changed. It just is stuck in one spot. Now these cars are fitted with old school style odometer systems where it's an actual electric motor that turns a gear set that racks up your miles. So I'm afraid that maybe something inside of that gearbox, possibly the electric motor or one of the gears, has failed. So we're gonna get in there, take out the odometer, and see what's up. Okay, I've got the gauge cluster out and disassembled, and I finally got to the odometer system. So let's take a look at this thing here. All right, with the odometer out of the gauge cluster, we can see the intricate gears that make up the odometer on this car. We'll see that the motor is here, and it's a worm gear that gets directed on this lay shaft, and it goes to another shaft via some other gears, and it hits some more gears, and then you have your trip odometer here, and it goes through and hits your main odometer here. So if we just kind of wiggle these shafts a little bit, you can see that there doesn't seem to be any sort of binding occurring in any of those gears. I was actually expecting to see a gear either missing teeth or something nasty going on there. But if I go here and try to spin the motor itself, the shaft seems like there's a lot of resistance. I can hardly move it. Now this isn't a very powerful electric motor, so if there's any sort of resistance at all, there's a good chance it won't spin, which very well might be the issue. So what I'm gonna do is remove these two screws here, pull the motor off, and see if I can't clean it up so we can get this motor spinning once again. Now if we can see that these gears right here are not frozen, so I can spin basically what the motor would be spinning, and you can see how that is actually moving. Even a slight bit tells me that there's no binding in this gear set and that the gears actually work. So the problem really has to be within the motor itself. Now that we have the motor out of here, you can see that it's just this little pancake looking thing, and it's really comes down to whether I can fix this or not, because I don't think I can go out and buy something like this off the shelf. This is probably very specific to this odometer system on this car. So we're going to shoot some electric contact cleaner in there and see if we can't free this thing up. There's 2 points of entry. One is the armature that sticks out where the worm gear is on, and the other is on the back side. Quite a lot of black gunk is coming out the end of there. Hoping that the stuff we are wanting to remove. Might be hard to see on the camera, but just shoot some in here. And then with that contact cleaner sitting right on top of the end there, I'm going to turn it back and forth, and you can start seeing this black gunk come out the top of the motor as I turn the armature. I believe that is the result we're looking for here. What I think is happening is the brushes are rubbing against the commutator inside there and cleaning off all of that carbon and graphite buildup on the commutator. Alright, so I've got the electric motor all cleaned out as best I could, and it seems to have freed up quite a bit. Let's take a look at it here. It does spin a lot smoother now, and it doesn't seem like there's much noise like there was before. There was not any binding. So I think that was the problem. Just a good cleaning out with that electric contact cleaner, and maybe that's all it needed. I hope so. because having a working odometer is a nice thing to have, to say the least. So let's get this motor mounted back to the odometer, get the odometer back into the gauge cluster, and get the gauge cluster back into the car. Okay, so I've got the gauge cluster back in the car. Now the only way to figure out if our odometer motor fix actually worked is to give this car a test drive. So after a pretty lengthy test drive, I gotta say I'm impressed with the results. Looks like cleaning out that little electric odometer motor did the trick. So if your 300ZX has stopped counting the miles, you might take apart your odometer and see what's going on. It might just be a free fix after all. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.